Welcome to Tech Latest, where we bring you the freshest updates from Asia's technology industry. Each episode, some of Nikkei Asia's reporters will be filling us in on the latest tech stories on their radar. From our Tokyo headquarters, here's this week's installment.
Hi, I'm Jada in Tokyo. In this episode, I'm catching up with our Bangkok correspondent Francesca Regalado about Chinese EV maker BYD's new Thailand factory. Hey, Francesca, thanks for joining us today.
Hey Jada, thanks for having me.
So, you've been covering the electrification of Thailand's auto industry, and the biggest investment so far has been from China's EV giant BYD. Can you tell us why Thailand is courting these EV investments?
So, most people know Thailand as a tourist destination, the beaches, elephants, temples. But more importantly for the Thai economy, it has been Southeast Asia's car manufacturing hub since the 1960s. Japanese car makers like Nissan, Toyota, and Honda largely contributed to that. They set up extensive supply chains, logistics, and distribution networks in Thailand to capture both the local and regional markets. But now that the world is moving toward decarbonization, Thailand's auto industry must shift too. The government set a target that 30% of all cars made in Thailand will be electric by 2030, which is 6 years from now. So they offer generous incentives for foreign car makers. If they pledge to build an EV factory in Thailand, they can import fully assembled electric cars and components to Thailand with reduced tariffs until 2026. When they sell those cars to Thai customers, the government subsidizes up to around $4,000 and also lowered the excise tax.
I see. So there's some hefty subsidies there. And where does BYD fit into all of this?
Well, Chinese car makers saw these incentives and moved in quickly. Southeast Asia is China's largest export market, and they need to send their cars here because the Chinese economy hasn't been doing well and consumption is down. So BYD pledged 17.9 billion baht. That's around $490 million for a Thailand factory. It opened on July 4th. Coincidentally, the same day that new tariffs on Chinese EV imports became effective in the European Union, which is China's second largest export market. Now, BYD actually wasn't the first in Thailand. Its compatriots, Great Wall Motor and SAIC, started making electric cars here since the end of last year. BYD only started selling imported cars in Thailand in late 2022. But for Thai car buyers, the most important thing is availability and affordability. Even if they've driven a Toyota all their lives, the waitlist for a Toyota EV imported from Japan is at least a year. So on the streets of Bangkok, it's easy to see that BYD is the number one EV brand. By the end of last year, it had 40% of the market.
Okay, wow. And we're seeing BYD expand across the world. It's expanding in Japan, it's building a factory in Turkey. So, how did BYD build up that market share in Thailand in less than 2 years?
That's partly thanks to its local distributor, Reve Automotive. The company was founded by a brother and sister duo who are the third generation of Siam Motors, which was Nissan's first distributor in Thailand. BYD has just bought a 20% stake in Reve. The siblings are glamorous, the marketing is slick, and the prices are so low that BYD's competitors have no choice but to engage in a price war. To celebrate the factory opening, for example, Reve discounted BYD's Atto SUV by up to 340,000 baht. That's about $9,000. Analysts say BYD could afford to go even lower because the Thai price is still about $3,000 higher than the China price. They do need to meet Thai buyers at that low price because the Thai economy is slowing down, consumer debt is high, and banks are rejecting more auto loan applications.
Yeah, so you mentioned the Thai economy, and while the Thai market is not looking too great, what can BYD do with its Thai factory?
BYD can make 150,000 cars each year in the Thailand plant. According to earlier statements by the company, only 10,000 of that will be for Thailand, which means most of it will be exported to Southeast Asia and Europe. Thailand has preferential trade arrangements with part of the ASEAN free trade area. It's also centrally located in mainland Southeast Asia, which is why car makers have preferred to set up shop in Thailand. Thailand doesn't export a lot of cars to Europe. Less than 1% of Thai made cars go to France and Germany. BYD is also building those factories you mentioned in Turkey and Hungary to avoid the new EU tariffs. That's actually making the Thai car industry a little nervous. If China sends less of its oversupply of electric vehicles to Europe, that means more might end up in Thailand. Even when Thai import duties resume eventually, Chinese brands have discounted their cars so much that they could probably pass on those costs to customers without issue.
I see. Well, it'll be really interesting to see how rapidly BYD continues to expand in Thailand after its factory is up and running. Thank you so much for that rundown, Francesca, and I'm excited to follow your future coverage on Thailand's EV scene. Thank you.
Thank you, Jada.
That's all for this episode. You can read more tech stories on Nikkei Asia's website, asia.nikkei.com. And if you like what you hear, why not subscribe to our weekly Tech Asia newsletter, which will be delivered to your inbox every Thursday? There's a link to sign up in the show notes. And whilst we've still got you, if you're enjoying Tech Latest and would like to support us, please do give us a follow on whichever podcast platform you use. We also really appreciate any reviews you can leave, as these help new listeners to find our episodes. Thank you for listening, and check back in next time for more updates on the tech trends that matter.